Have you ever looked at someone and instantly decided what kind of person they were? Have you ever believed you understood someone without hearing their story? Have you ever realized later that you were completely wrong? Sometimes we judge people by their clothes, sometimes by the way they speak, sometimes by the small moment we see, not the life they've lived. If you've ever felt this way, this story is for you. There was a young man named Rohan. Rohan was smart, confident, and very quick to judge people. If someone looked poor, he assumed they were lazy. If someone was quiet, he thought they were weak. If someone made a mistake, he believed they were careless. To Rohan, people were easy to understand. At least, that's what he believed. One morning, Rohan boarded a crowded city bus on his way to an important job interview. He had worked months to prepare for it. This job could change his entire future. The bus was noisy and packed with people. At the next stop, an old man slowly stepped onto the bus. His clothes were worn, his shoes were dusty, and he carried a small cloth bag in his hands. The old man looked around for a seat. The only empty seat was beside Rohan. He slowly sat down. Rohan sighed and turned toward the window. The old man smelled like sweat and travel. Rohan quietly moved a little farther away. "Some people really should take better care of themselves," Rohan muttered under his breath. The old man heard him, but he didn't say anything. Instead, he simply smiled gently. After a few minutes, the bus suddenly stopped hard. Rohan lost his balance and dropped his important file of documents. Papers scattered all over the bus floor. Passengers stepped on them as they moved. Rohan panicked. "These papers are important," he said nervously. Before anyone else reacted, the old man slowly bent down. Despite his shaking hands, he carefully picked up every page. He smoothed each one gently before handing them back to Rohan. "Here," the old man said softly, "your future shouldn't be lost on the floor." Rohan felt a small wave of embarrassment, but before he could say anything else, the bus reached another stop. The old man stood up to leave. As he stepped off the bus, he turned back and looked at Rohan. Then he said something simple. "Everyone you meet is carrying a story you cannot see." And then he walked away. Hours later, Rohan arrived at the office building for his interview. He was nervous but hopeful. A receptionist guided him to a waiting room. A few minutes later, the door opened. "Mr. Rohan," the receptionist said, "your interviewer is ready." Rohan walked into the room, and then he froze. Sitting at the desk was the same old man from the bus. But now he looked different. He wore a clean jacket. His posture was strong. His eyes were calm and wise. Rohan's heart dropped. The old man smiled kindly. "I like to travel by bus sometimes," he said calmly. "It reminds me how people treat others when they think no one important is watching." Rohan felt his face burn with shame. He wanted to speak, but no words came out. Then the old man leaned forward and said quietly, "Character is revealed in the small moments." The room was silent. That moment felt heavier than any interview question. Something inside Rohan changed that day. He walked out of the building thinking deeply, not about the job, but about the way he had been seeing people his whole life. From that day forward, Rohan started doing something different. He listened more. He judged less. He tried to understand people before deciding who they were. Because he finally realized something important. Every person carries pain, dreams, struggles, stories hidden behind their face. And sometimes the person you judge the fastest is the person you understand the least. This story isn't just about Rohan. Maybe this is about someone you judged too quickly. Or maybe it's about you. Because in life, we often see only the outside of people, but the truth is always deeper. And sometimes, the greatest mistake we make is believing we know someone after only one moment. Remember this: a quick judgment can close a door that understanding could have opened.